On this.
Driver, to your car.
They're going.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tarnation TV. This is the Maverick Cup Series at the High Voltage Racing League. We had an off week last week, a little bit of a break, and because it's been a long drive. We're coming all the way up here to Canada today, and we're in Montreal, so it's very cool. Get some road racing in here. Circuit Villeneuve. Very cool track. This has kind of been the only real solid version, I think, for NASCAR Racing 2003 that I've seen of the Gilles Villeneuve track, because it really is perfect. I've raced out here before, and nobody needs to update it because it's really good. And here we are. So yeah, this has been the first time Maverick Cup Series has been to Canada since 2022. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. Of course, the website you can see on screen, TarnationTV.com. Live NASCAR Racing Broadcasting Services at your service. My name is Blaine Donlan, joined by the one and only Rod Weston. Good evening, Sir Weston.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I'll tell you what, this is one of the races that I had circled on the calendar. I'm not, I like this track. It's a fun track. There's a lot of, a lot of finesse in it. A lot of, kind of really driving it. It's a fun little track. But we'll just have to wait and see how they handle it. I know I went out there and turned a few laps. If it was me, I'd change the brake bias a little bit. But that's, they got a pretty decent setup underneath them. And we got to talk about points. We always do. We are 17 races into a 26 race season. Little bit of a shake-up in the points at the beginning there. Jack Merkel is now the current points leader. Paulo Vitor, he's sneaking right there in second, 72 points behind Jack. And our usual points leader didn't show up last week, so he dropped back to third. Jonathan Peavy still hanging around up there in fifth, and Allison Rodrigo is your top five. Keith Hughes just outside of this, and we know Keith Hughes is going to lose points tonight. Why? We're at a road course, and Keith does not like road courses. So, but like I said, looking forward to it. Should be a good fun race.
Yeah, he'll touch the track for 2 seconds so that he can retire and go watch from above in his ivory tower. But as those points there roll, we did have some notes that we were handed from Benjamin. We had a driver replacement, the 48 of Austin LaPlante tonight. The car will be driven by Zach Hillier. LaPlante will return New Hampshire in 3 weeks. Was LaPlante under suspension?
Yes.
Yeah, major suspension.
Not sure what he did, but
dynamite.
Yeah,
it was dynamite. He was
whatever
throwing dynamite
he
out the window.
He did whatever he did. He did something they didn't like, and unfortunately for Austin, I like Austin. He's a heck of a racer. I mean, last year he was right there, the top 3 in the points most of the season. Had a little bit of bad luck, dropped back a few, but he was, always in the top 5 in points. Unfortunately for this year, he's going to be out of the points, but that's all right. Come back strong next year. Yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun to see different people driving different cars, like Zach Hillier. I don't know if we've ever seen him here before. The name sounds familiar, but I don't believe he's been here. If he has, he'll be on that list. Yeah. I can't see him, but there's 100 and it's getting near the bottom here now. 106 drivers on that list that have raced here at Maverick in the 2026 season so far. And some unfortunate news here too. Mark Snyder will be out after this race for an undetermined amount of time. Goal is for him to return before the start of the 2027 season. A rotation of to-be-determined drivers is expected to fill in for the 27 car until Mr. Snyder can return to competition. So that's kind of sad news that Papa Snyder won't be able to keep on keeping on for the rest of the season here. But, he'll be out here tonight, and we'll see how he does. Pulling for him.
Yeah, we'll be definitely pulling for him. But I think probably the only driver of very few that runs the same car every week.
Yes.
We have a lot of changes, a lot of different paint schemes out there, and Mark's always running that same old familiar yellow and black Kia. So hopefully, he, like I say, has a great race and finishes well, and we'll be pulling for him. Looking forward to him if we get the nod back to come back next year to see him at the Daytona race.
And I think like if you've raced with Mark any time in the last 20 years, you probably only need that one car file. Kind of like me. I only really have about 2 or 3 cars in the last 20 years. I don't really change stuff very often. Once I find something, I just leave it. But I'm a perfectionist too. It takes me way too long to finalize a car. But you can see there on our schedule, next week we'll be headed to Richmond, then New Hampshire, Echo Park / Atlanta, and then right back to road coursing again at Watkins Glen the 15th of September. So that'll be cool. Lots of variety here this year with the Maverick Cup schedule. But yeah, we'll be running this thing tonight, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to do my best with the drone camera. Rod and I were both kind of testing the TV cameras, and TV one seems to be the best one.
For me, yeah.
We'll be messing around, make sure we can get you some. What would be like what's a good spot on this track that we might see the most passing? Because I'm trying to think it's definitely not going to be into that last chicane because that thing's nuts. But I've seen some passes there too, though. It's pretty awesome.
It really depends a lot on where. Probably one of the bigger passing spots is going to be in turn 1. That leads to turn 2, which is kind of a roundabout corner there. It's kind of funny. This track starts on turn 1 as being a technical track, pretty much all the way down to the hairpin. And then once you get the hairpin, it's bang, 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 right up to the gears, up the 4th gear, until you get to the little chicane that reaches into what they call Champion's Wall. And the reason why they call that is because so many champions have bounced off from that wall. But
each champions.
Yeah, I think the hairpin definitely could be one if you get a good run off that corner.
Yeah.
Especially going into those little chicanes before the champion's corner. Like I said, there again, depends on how good of a run you get off that corner, because you'll carry that momentum out. Probably get a little bit of a draft pull out there. On the backstretch, yes, you'll probably see drivers try it, but it's such a tight spot. I'm not sure the name of the number of the corner, but you go through a series of chicanes, and then you have a little bit of a straightaway. Now, I practiced out there a little bit. I was able to get to 3rd gear once I got to 4th gear, so the gearing is pretty darn close. But you go under a bridge and into a really sharp chicane, and that you really want to get through that real well so that you carry momentum into the the hairpin. I mean, you have to carry momentum everywhere you go on this track, but it's tough out there. I mean, it's a really kind of a finessing little road course that you do on the backstretch, and on the front, man, it's pretty much wide open, and you try to hammer that little chicane as hard as you can.
Because I know when you come out of we're watching Pavlon right now, he came out of that chicane, and right now he's braking again, finally, out of the hairpin into the chicane right here. That's a monster straightaway coming out of that hairpin. And like you said, momentum is your friend there, because if you can get in and out of that hairpin smooth, you're going to have a step or two on anybody around you. And that's win and lose races, that's crazy.
See if we can interrupt him a little bit there and get him up here in the booth and try to talk to him while he's out there racing.
Cool.
Joseph, Landy Pavlon, we know you're out there turning laps, but we want to just try to see if we can disrupt you a little bit out there. Talk to you a little bit about this. I understand that you didn't win the last race here, but you won the last race in Canada.
Yes, Rob, that's right. I ran the last race that the Maverick Cup Series ran north of the border, which was just around 4 years ago this time, in the 2022 race at Mosport, and ended up taking the win.
Very cool.
That's a challenging track, especially that hairpin that goes into that downhill thing, completely blind no matter what view you're running.
Oh yeah, it was an interesting race, and if you want to watch the replay, it's on all of our friends at JTN.
Cool.
On his channel.
What view do you run when you're driving? Do you run cockpit?
Depends on the view. I do enjoy the cockpit from time to time, but I also enjoy the hood view, and sometimes if I need to see everything around me, I'll take advantage of the far chase cam, because at least I get to see everything that's happening around me.
Right.
But I would say for here, I'm probably going to be running hood cam for most of the race.
Yeah, it seems to be my favorite one. Sorry, Rod,
I would understand that too, just because in the cockpit you get better feel for the car all around. But when you get on the roof, you still have a pretty decent feel for it. I was playing around a little bit earlier, like I said, and I went far chase mode, and I just don't have no feel for the car when you're in far chase mode.
Yeah, I'm able to see everything, like when the car switches, every little movement, and also the guys around me. Instead of clearing myself too soon, which as for the iRacing guys, it's a luxury for us on NR 2003. Everyone says that it's better to run cockpit, but I do enjoy the far chase view from time to time. But this is the kind of race where you want to watch closely on how you enter the corners, how you exit. Everything's about braking points here. Tire conservation. That's another big key that I said to my teammates about. That it's all about how you enter the corner, how you brake, and just making sure to not make mistakes out there. This is a tough track.
Keep your momentum up as well, so that's the hard part.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, we'll wish you the best of luck tonight. If we get a chance, maybe, or something under the caution, we might grab you during the race, but we'll let you get out to continue your practice up, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you afterwards and on a podium finish.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck, bud.
Thanks, Joseph.
Thank you.
So I can concur that TV2 is completely useless. This is what we've been watching for the last minute or two. I'm like, okay, what about Spectators? Spectators not bad. Yeah, it's not good either.
I was watching
TV1 is so good, but like I can't use any of the other ones. It's crazy.
I was watching him in TV1, and I'm watching, glance over, and all I could see is the backside of trees.
It's just trees. Yeah.
Like, that ain't TV1. I don't know.
And that was a full lap. We literally saw his car for like maybe 12 seconds, and it was an entire lap. But, yeah.
We're going to quickly just look at the chat. Of course, we just got Robert Spring in there and Austin LaPlante hanging out there, giving us a little information. I have to thank Austin for some of the help earlier. But, looking forward to seeing Austin come back. I do have to give a shout out to a friend of mine, Heidi Hitchcock. She's probably not watching us live, but plans on watching us tomorrow. We were talking a little earlier. She didn't realize I did this though, so she's like, "Well, I want to go check it out." And I said, "Well," she goes, "Then do I only watch it live?" And I said, "Nope." I said, "This is on YouTube forever." So
that's the thing. Yeah, you can watch it live if you want to. 8:15 is when we go live every Tuesday with these guys, and then of course after the race is done, it goes into video on demand mode, and it is available forever and ever on the YouTube machine. Click on it at your leisure and fast forward to the good parts, or you can pause the live race too. We don't have commercial breaks.
Let's go quickly through the qualifying order. Josh Mercurio is going to end up on the pole. Jonathan Peavy outside pole. Now these are the two of the guys that are up there top in points. Anthony McCurry. We saw him faster in practice, still pretty quick, but not quite as fast as Mercurio, and he turned a faster lap than that during practice. So Allison Rodrigo, they're in points as well. He starts fourth. Fifth, subbing for Austin LaPlante, that's Zach Hiller. I hope we're saying that right. Sixth is the 61 of Vera. Seventh is Figueroa, the M version of that, which was Miguel.
Miguel, yeah.
Miguel. And of course, eighth is Paulo Vitor. He is currently second in points. Ninth is the 18 of L. Kennedy. I can't remember his first name. That we'll just use Kennedy. 10th is going to be Scully. 11th is Edwards, Carby Edwards. Edwards, not Edwards. You got to make sure you're saying that right. 12th is going to be was it D Fast? I think it was, or something like that. I got to Drew Fast.
Yeah.
Trying to get their names down, but they change kind of quite often. 13th is going to be Curry. 14th is going to be Carrera. 15th is going to be Neves. 16th will be our own Joseph Landy Pavillon. 17th is Mark Snyder. 18th is Mateus Yankee. 19th is Augusto. I hope I said that right. 20th is going to be Martinez. I'm going to let you finish the rest of it out, and I'm going to be happy about one thing. I beat you in qualifying.
Nice. Whereabouts were you? What place? You got Martinez. So then we've got Garcia, Merkel, Neto, Hart, Benjamin Snyder, Faitasa, Bishop, Rod Weston, Dylan Young, McIntyre, I'm way down there too, Tate Dorsey, Keith Hughes, Christian Torres, and Cody Lamas is rounding out the field there. So, yeah, this will be a full field, man. This is awesome. Get to do some road racing with pretty much maxed out Like, what was the driver? What was the standings count on that qualifying list? That was
35.
35 total minus us. So, yeah.
So tonight we got 17 drivers from the United States, 8 from Brazil, 2 from Argentina, 1 from Australia, 1 from Ecuador, 1 from Mexico, and 1 from Puerto Rico tonight. And then the makes, well, those Toyotas are really starting to gang up on everybody out there. 7 Toyotas, 5 Chevrolets, 5 Dodges, 5 Fords, 4 Lexuses, 3 Cadillacs, we don't know who those are, and the 2 Kias of the Snyder brothers. Boys, brothers, not brothers. Family, which is father and son team.
Yeah.
Where are they starting them? I was kind of curious. They're looking to see. Looks like they're going to start them just before the hairpin.
Yeah, it looks like...
no, they're starting them on
after the hairpin, yeah.
Just after it, okay.
I can see in the background there that big zoom boom up over those grandstands. That's the hairpin grandstands.
Only thing I don't like about TV1 is on that the casino straight.
Yeah,
I think was what we called it. I can only see the first 2 cars. The rest of it's all just roofs.
Yeah. This is one thing I couldn't really find an alternate camera pack for this track. This would be definitely... The track's fine. The track's great. It's the cameras need some work. But here we go. We're coming through the chicane here to get this thing started. So we do have a total of 37 laps on the clock. This track is 2.71 miles in length, which is probably about 5 kilometers. And yeah, away we go.
Yosemite corner here. Let's just see how they can get slowed down. We got 2 Cadillacs. We're on the front row. Oh, wow, man. These guys are nice. Very good start. My God, that was great.
Amazing.
Amazing start. Everybody gave room. The 2 Cadillacs, one of Mercurio and the other one a Peavey. I got a little step away. That's good for them, but...
No, they're going in slow motion here. They got about 5 wide, but they all got out.
Watch the 2 Cadillacs, man, on the front row. I saw people doing this during practice. Off the corners, sideways.
Oh, just driving right sideways, eh?
To get a little bit of that push out of the car that I felt in it, they're literally driving it sideways. Here, back there in the 3rd spot. Great start there.
So I've got one of the cameras set up in the hairpin. I moved to pit road cameras around a little bit. I got one of them set up at the start-finish line. I got the other one set up in the hairpin, so we can check out the hairpin entrance here.
Oh, cool. There you go.
There is a pretty good camera angle on TV1, but you don't really get to see the whole track. It's a good angle, but it's very zoomed in. So this is where they come through the hairpin, and then they head onto that back straightaway.
That hairpin is almost down to 25 miles an hour. Paulo Vitor going through that corner there. Paulo Vitor started the race in 8th spot. Currently is up into the up in the 4th spot right now. Made up 4 spots on that start.
Yellow is up.
Okay. Thought it was kind of weird for a minute there. I saw Paulo slowing down on the casino straight there. I thought maybe it might be you.
Yeah, we'll go back and try to find it here. We'll just watch everybody. You see the lights are flashing on the amber lamps and the fire truck machine. Brand new tickers running here because we go horizontal here at Maverick. So we've been using the Project Steel Fire overlay pack. If you are a driver, I highly recommend you check this out.
I think I found your caution.
Okay.
Benjamin Snyder, just under the bridge, did not make the curve. He didn't get slowed down enough, piled it into the fence, had to get towed in. He was stuck in the tire barrier there. Not hard to do here.
Benjamin, you were saying?
Benjamin Snyder, yeah. Not hard to do here.
We're going to find that here in an instant replay. So let's see here.
Just happened to notice him on pit road, so I wanted to see if they started there, what was going on. Stepped back a little bit and caught him, found him, piled it, just planted it right into the tire barrier. Probably enough to where he couldn't get out of that situation. So.
Oh yeah, it looks. Oh, we lost the angle there. Yeah, it looks like the way that it got hung up and kind of bobbled around there. You can see there, it sort of got stuck.
just didn't get, it just didn't turn. He didn't lock the brakes down, so he, because if he'd have locked the brakes, it probably would have been even worse. But he was just trying to get it to turn. It did not turn at all, and just got, like I said, those tire barriers, you'll get hooked up right in those pretty hard.
Yeah, with the kitty litter too. You get the sand trap, and then you get the tire walls. Let's take a look at some of these cars here. Maybe not so much this pace car, but thanks as always to everybody who's watching live on YouTube, all the drivers that come out and do this. Maverick Cup Series for having us in here to broadcast all their racing.
Interesting to see. I don't think you're going to see any of the front runners, pit. But I would imagine that you're going to see a few of the people on the backside pit. I'm talking with Joseph Landy Pavlon a little earlier. Remember, he was talking a lot about tire wear. Now, I imagine if you're as smooth as I saw, Anthony McCreary earlier, just going around here, not really upsetting a wheel as much. If you're smooth like that, I think you'll be able to go a little bit more of the distance. But tire wear is going to be a very important thing. A little bit of fakery going there. Mercurio wanted everybody to think he was going to pit. Didn't think we'd have too many people up front.
Oh, some guys are really messing around. That's funny. Near the back, we're definitely going to see everybody coming down. That's usually what'll happen. So it looks like the back, there's about a dozen cars there.
That's what I figured. Come in, take fuel, get tires, even though it's only 2 laps in. They'll put 4 tires on it, they'll fill it up with fuel. And let's say this thing just should happen to go green for a little while. Well, yeah, they're all going to be saving on fuel a little bit under the yellow flag conditions. But if it goes green for a while, eventually, you're going to have the leaders pit, and you can maybe potentially get out there, lead a lap. I'm very surprised to see that we are on lap 2, and Keith Hughes is still in the field, and he was one of those drivers that pitted to take 4 tires of fuel.
Interesting. I thought he would have pitted to retire.
Yeah.
Yeah, this version of the track's been around for a while, but it's cool. You can see they got the cityscape back there. They really took the layering in the backgrounds and stuff. It's cool. It's a good
Very
looking.
cool.
I didn't get into the README file to see the actual date that this was created, but it's definitely been around a while. So once we get rolling here, we will take a ride along with one of the guys. I'm guessing, like Pavlon, maybe because he won at Mosport a couple of years ago, like he was saying.
Yeah, you're going to want to ride along with somebody. You don't want to ride along with Josh Mercurio just because, all you're going to see is the front. But maybe,
get in the middle of the pack. I like to get in the middle, yeah.
Yeah, Pavlon's right there. He pretty much, let's see, whereas Joseph is in 11th. At crossing the start-finish line the last time by looking at GNL TV. So, Josh Mercurio has turned the fastest lap so far, but I don't know if we've got enough of that's going to really hold up, I guess, unless, I don't think he made it quite all the way around before the caution came out, so.
Oh, I just realized my keybind for my ticker is just the X button. Where it actually should be
something else.
Yeah, it is the X button, but it's like Control-Shift-X. That's what it should have been. That's why I was like, why did the ticker disappear? It's because it's also my zoom button for my drone. So, glitching.
And you think this broadcasting stuff is easy?
Yeah, so much stuff going on behind the scenes. It's wild. I just added to my list, and I'll change it after. I'm not going to do it now.
I don't want to get you started talking about it, but I just happened to look it over at the ticker, and I do have to say, I do like that ticker.
Yeah, it's cool. There's a couple of horizontal tickers with this pack from Steelfire, and this one.
These cars make the trip down the pit road. Sorry. Josh Mercurio as your control car. It looks like they're doing a single file start, and I applaud that just because this track is so hard to be able to do. Now we got a little bit of what in the heck? He straightened it out. Okay, something happened here about midway back a little bit, but they're trying to make a little something happen. Ooh, got a little bit loose on the back here in third. Paulo Vitor right on his tail. Two Cadillacs. They're getting that power down. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I was just watching Curry there in the 179, and he almost lost it, but he held on to it. And these guys are driving these things right, right to the walls. It's cool.
You have to. I mean, you have to. And it's all about keeping momentum up. You know, we've seen a lot of the Cadillacs up out front there, you know, sliding the car a little bit. Now, you can get away with that a little bit. Of course, you're going to wear on the front tires more than you are the rear tires. So if you do that, you know, you try to keep it about to equal it out, you'll be pretty good. But just don't want to upset the tires too much, especially if you get a long green flag run. Watch Josh Mercurio as he come out of the last little corner, the chicane, you know, all the way right to the wall. Basically almost 4 tires right off the track. Just to, you know, get the momentum, you know, keep that momentum going.
There's one thing about this track is like the walls are right there, but for some reason every time I've ever run here I don't feel claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Like there's some road like circuits that are very claustrophobic. This one doesn't feel that way. I don't know why. Maybe it's just like you said, because it's smooth. Like it's tight, but it's smooth. You're able to drive the car really hard, but you never really feel like you're gonna go flying off into the river.
It's really weird. I had to change my view for just a second. And along with Drew Fast there, it almost seems like they're under caution. They're not really going that fast when they're going through the, you know, the curves and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can tell they're under caution when they get onto the straightaways and they're not going that fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll go back and find out why here in a second.
They are back under caution. Okay.
Yeah.
Just see, I was looking to see if it had a caution light out, and I couldn't find one, you know, right along with Drew, but
we'll go back to the moment of caution here and see if we can figure out what happened. They tend to let it slide a little bit more on the road courses, but again, this one, much like, you know, Road America, if you get in an accident, you're just kind of driving around in the middle of the grass. Here, it is, you know, there's walls that'll cause bigger accidents. Yeah, like we were just talking about, doesn't really feel claustrophobic, but I mean, when you bounce off the wall, you bounce back into the track, unfortunately. I saw some smoke there. That doesn't count.
This is basically, you got to remember, this is a admin controlled yellow. So if the admin doesn't, you know, if you were a single car spin and you go off the track, they're not going to cause a caution plate. You know, multi-car pileup or, you know, 2 drivers that are blocking the track. Yeah, obviously, you know, safety first. So that's what they're going to do there. But like as you said, we saw it at Road America. There's a lot more room to run and hide. You know, when something goes wrong, you go off the track. There's definitely not a lot of room off this track anywhere.
I can't see an instance where we would be under yellow. I don't see a car around. I don't see flames. I don't see anything. I see smoke, but that's just guys locking tires up going into corners.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just stacking them like a stage type of thing.
Let me see if I can help you out here.
You can see there too on that ticker, the leader is Josh Mercurio. He's got that little green icon next to his name. That means he is currently the owner of the fastest lap so far of the night. That little green icon will move around to different drivers if they are able to beat Josh's fastest time. What it is, I can't tell you, but Rod can.
So far, it's 112.244 miles an hour.
Cool.
It's 86.628. Sorry, fastest lap. Okay, no, that's time? Yeah, that's time. So he's done 112.244, sorry, at 86.728 miles per hour.
That makes sense, yep.
Yeah. Now, just kind of looked at it quick, but I was trying to find out the caution.
Yeah, I can't see it.
trying to find a yellow light.
Yeah, I just focus on the pace car, hit rewind until you see him park it, and then from there I try to find the point of caution, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah, that is a little bit weird.
And again, because it is admin controlled, maybe somebody just hit a wrong button. That might have been a thing.
It happens.
Yeah.
We're heading down, I believe it's where we're at now here. I got to kind of look. They're still going down the back stretch, yeah. Into the corner there with a bridge. I got to count corners, I guess, because I don't remember what corner that is.
Yeah. I think there's what is there, 13, 14 turns on this track?
Something like that.
Who was nice enough to send us the...
Austin LaPlante.
Austin
Just out a
LaPlante?
little bitty. It was the Casino Straight, the Ayrton Senna, turn 2 is Ayrton Senna's corner. And then he said the hairpin was there. And then, of course, they call it Champions Wall, which I knew. And that, like I said, literally just because so many champions have bounced off from it.
That's hilarious. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so Virage Senna stands for Senna Curve. After Ayrton Senna. Is that how am I saying that right?
Yep.
Ayrton Senna.
Yeah.
Now, you
One of
told
the
me how
greatest.
he died in a race with the suspension coming up through his helmet.
Yeah. He was one of the greatest Formula One drivers out there. Drove for a few different teams, and he was driving for Williams in the they call it active suspension. So in other words, the car would raise and lower to keep it at a certain height. They found out, keeping it that way. Like again, the stories that I've heard, not documents, but the shows about it. His steering column had broken, sent him right into the wall.
Wow.
He was hauling. One of the corners that you don't lift, so.
And that's similar to, it's similar to Gilles Villeneuve. Like, that's where we're racing right now, like Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And Gilles died in Toronto.
Hit a lap car down at a track.
Toronto.
And it was thrown from the track of the car and landed right onto the fence dead.
Yeah, he, green again here on lap 7.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, Gilles died at the Toronto Molson Indy.
Vera making a good move. Tried to do this the last time, wasn't able to get in turn 1 enough. Oh, lost in the back of the car a little bit. Good move though. He got in there, got a better run on the outside, got underneath PV. Almost had him. It was underneath him going through too, and unfortunately just lost traction coming off the corner, and was unable to do that. I think we're back under caution.
Yes.
See the car slow down quite a bit. So.
Yeah, Gilles Villeneuve, he died on the Toronto circuit, the Molson Indy on Lakeshore Boulevard, which, you have to take Lakeshore Boulevard to get into downtown Toronto, but, when the Indy's in town, they shut that whole area down. They raced through the exhibition park and then head onto the highway. But yeah, like you said, he ran into a lap car, then he got launched up into the fence, and the fence caught him, but then so did the stanchion, like the big metal I-beam.
Just threw him right out of the car.
And just killed him right there, and I guess did they name this track after him once he died? Yeah.
I believe so.
Crazy, man. And of course, Jacques Villeneuve drives also.
Oh yeah. It used to be a pretty good little shoe.
Yeah.
Multiple champions, a lot of different disciplines.
And we used to watch a lot of the IndyCar race and stuff when I was younger, but then I remember we were watching Paul Tracy and Greg Moore. They were teammates, I believe, raced for Players, and that's when Greg Moore died, and I never watched another IndyCar race after that. Because at Michigan, they were doing like 260 miles an hour with that weird wing they had.
Yep.
And hit that wall, and I was like, watched a guy die on TV. I'm like, you know what? I don't think we need to go this fast. You know,
No.
they were always chasing speed, and it's like, but people are getting hurt, man. And it was only a matter of time before somebody lost their life, and it didn't feel like it needed to happen. You know, why do you need to gain 30 miles an hour in the draft? Like, let's just race each other. It's like these rocket ships just slingshotting off each other all day long. The race is insane. But
Austin says he believes that Villeneuve was killed at the Belgian Grand Prix. Like I said, I've seen it before, but I couldn't remember what track it was at.
Was he? I gotta look that up.
I'm not sure. Like I said, I've seen it before, but not 100% sure what track it was. I think I watched a thing about, you know, the top 10 deaths in, you know, Formula One. I'm a big Formula One fan. I really kind of like the concept of it. I just think they've taken too much away from it. I like the old days where they said, okay, this part of the car and this part, everybody has to be exactly the same. You see this little box over here? Have fun. And then it's just the stuff that guys would come up with is what always amazed me. You tell Adrian Newey, hey, you know, you can do anything you want here. And just to watch what Adrian Newey will come up with, you know. Not familiar who Adrian Newey is, you definitely don't watch Formula One.
No, I know some of the names. I never watched a whole lot of Formula One, but I was wrong. Yeah, it wasn't Gilles Villeneuve in Toronto. It was Jeff Krosnoff. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I thought that was Gilles.
But Adrian Newey is one of the world's greatest aerodynamicists. The guy just builds wicked. He's the architect of back in the day for Williams. He's run for a lot of different teams. Ironically, this year is his first year working for Aston Martin, and they are not doing all that well. But there's a lot more to it than that. But you know, he was the big thing with Max Verstappen and the Red Bull, and you know, Sebastian Vettel. You know, all the teams that he's usually been at, they do well.
That's crazy, eh? You'd be that successful as like a driver, like your whole career, just, you know, finding teams and winning and being able to keep it up for that long. It seems like such a crazy sport.
Drivers don't normally last like really, really long there.
No.
But then again, you turn around and you look at Fernando Alonso, who's 45 years old and still going strong. That guy's a wheelman. I'm not a big Fernando Alonso fan, but boy, I'll tell you what, he can wheel a race car.
Yeah, so I was totally wrong on Gilles Villeneuve. So thanks for the correction there. Was it Austin? Yeah.
So Alessandro Rodrigo, Paulo Vitor, Drew Fast, Curry. I'm trying to catch the cars as they're coming out of the pit road here. We have a few cars that pitted from the back, but we also had a few kind of mid-pack. We're 9 laps into this. You know, the front runners have not pitted at all. So, you know, these guys that are mid-pack, realizing that they're probably, you know, got an opportunity here to come down pit road, take 4 tires and fuel. Hopefully, you know, maybe this thing will go green for a little while. They can get out. Like I said before, they can lead laps. Sometimes they can fall to their advantage where they get out there, the other guys pit, and then run long enough to where when they do have another caution, they pit, puts them back up front. The dangerous thing about road course racing is you do not want to, believe it or not, be out leading the race when a caution comes out, because if you have a driver that knows, well, I can only go about 4 more laps, so I'm going to pit early, and I come out and they go out and everybody else pits, you come out and you end up inheriting the lead. So there's a lot of different strategy to it. But if you watch NASCAR, a lot of them, they don't want to be stuck out there when the caution comes out and then have to pit, because 9 times out of 10 you get moved back quite a ways in the field. Yeah,
you lose a ton of track position.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just reading about that Gilles Villeneuve thing. So 1982, he was only 32 years old.
Yep.
Wow. With only minutes left in the session, they were in Belgium Grand Prix. Villeneuve's Ferrari came up. Yeah, with only minutes left in the session, Villeneuve's Ferrari came up fast behind a slower moving car of Jochen Mass. The impact. Mass had moved aside to let him pass, but Villeneuve simultaneously misjudged the move and slammed into the back of Mass's car. The impact launched Villeneuve's car into the air, cartwheeling violently down the track, tearing the car apart. Villeneuve was thrown from the cockpit. Wow. He was still strapped to his seat.
Launched across the track into a fence.
Jeez.
I guess I watched a show.
Well, they got him to the hospital. He made it to the hospital. They had him on life support, but he obviously passed away later that night. That's insanity, dude.
Right, he's making that turn. Weird turn.
I was going to say, he's making a weird turn. What kind of turn was that?
Josh Mercurio is your control car. Jonathan Peavy right behind him. Vera still back there in third. I gotta keep my eyes up here to see if he can do that again. I mean, he's had some really good attempts on Jonathan Peavy, just has not been able to get it to pull it off. Tries again to go on the outside. This time, Jonathan was a little bit more on it, so Vera's kind of right in his tire tracks on the back. You got Mercurio off the corner, sideways as always. His tires are getting down there a little bit.
On board with Vera right now.
Pretty good start there. I don't know what's going on in the back there, but so far we seem to be still under green. Whoa! Peavy and pretty much the whole field right off that corner, off into the grass, stirring up the dust. Using every bit of the track that they can to get through that corner to try to keep that momentum going. Just noticing, I don't know, is this the car that Mercurio's been running all season? Because, whoops, I think we're back under caution as Mercurio slows down. Because I'm thinking, I don't know if I've seen a car that he's driven that has that little pink paint on it, so.
Oh, Mercurio, let me check.
I don't know if I can't remember if that's the car he's been running all season, or we see him in other leagues everywhere, so yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, he has a couple of similar ones. It's the same, it's in the ballpark.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's got a lot less pink on it.
Jonathan Peavy's still been hanging on there pretty good in second spot. We've got no other leaders for the night. Obviously, Josh Mercurio has not really relinquished that yet. We do not know. Let me take a quick look. Curious to see. It says in the garage that we can do 18 laps. That would depend a lot too on what what pit frequency they're set up on too.
Well, and the speed in which they're doing it, because we've been under yellow for a while here tonight.
Right.
So this is caution number 4.
They can do 18 laps under that, but we've had, oh gosh, I don't, how many, we've done about 10, 11 laps, I don't know how many, we've had 6 of those laps under caution. So those under caution laps, you can save yourself quite a bit of fuel, and to look at the bright side of it too, you're also a lot less with tire wear.
Yep.
So not that that's going to equal out too a little bit, but they can go a little bit further. So I would say they might be able to go probably to 22 laps. But there again, it also depends on their tire wear. You got a 37 lap race. Boy, if you could go to the halfway point, and make a one stop out of this. If it all falls the right way, which right now with cautions, we know they're going to be able to go further than 18 now. So that could play into a one pit stop strategy.
You wonder how much does your strategy change when you get? Because usually with Maverick too, if we come to road courses, we get very rarely do we get yellows at all. And today we've had 4, so it's like, okay, maybe I just stay out and run the thing until it's dry almost,
I would say this would probably be one of the hardest leagues to try to do strategy in, just because you never know. We've had races. We've had races with a lot of cautions. I mean, hate to see it, but it's just the nature of this, of the racing and and whatnot. But sometimes we have races where we have pretty good long green flag runs, and that strategy over here is you've got to be playing it by ear and just changing it on a whim just because next thing you know we go green and it just keeps going, and Now all of a sudden, you got Montreal out front. Now I got a pit. It's just
because we
you never
run
know.
road courses with no yellows. I know, like we ran. I think it was Sonoma. Front to
Sonoma's
back,
one.
no cautions ever. So it's like you don't know. And then there's been other races you'll have 16 yellows.
Right.
Well, like you say, yeah, you never know what's going to happen. You could have an absolute flawless race. And the yellows are coming out here not for catastrophic wrecks. It's just kind of guys are just getting tied up in the corners.
Austin
and
said
a couple
just
of them we couldn't even find, what happened.
Austin said, just as a reminder, there are no caution cooldowns on a road course. So that's a good thing. I mean, just because what they do when cautions start to build up a little bit, they do what's called a caution cool down for a few laps. Doesn't matter what happens, they're not going to pull out a caution. Now, I see a bad side to that, but that's just because if you go to a league and you say, we're going to do no damage, you have a tendency to have people, I ain't going to wreck the car. I'll just go for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you kind of go, you would think, but the other leagues that we've seen do that have devised a penalty system that really makes you want to mind your P's and Q's. Maverick has that as well over here. We've seen people overdrive and do silly things and get a little vacation. So caution cooldowns in a road course, it would be treacherous.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, and I like the suspension that Austin is serving is big, man. You're talking a 4-race suspension. That's pretty gnarly.
Don't know what he served in their Cheerios, but they didn't like it.
No, yeah. Yeah, and he mentioned in the YouTube chat this is race number 3 of 4 of the suspension, so.
I'm glad to see him coming back in New Hampshire, especially seeing the fact that he doesn't live that far away from there. So.
Well, I'm happy he's in the YouTube chat straightening us out on my misinformation. So yeah, he's feeding us the right info. He could be a Tarnation TV researcher. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. I don't know why for years I thought Gilles died in Toronto, but it was a different wreck. I had it confused with something else. And yeah, because he wasn't an IndyCar driver, was he?
Who?
Gilles.
Gilles was not. His son Jacques was.
Yeah, that's where I'm getting it messed up, because I'm like, no, Gilles didn't die in Toronto because they don't race F1 in Toronto.
Oh, but they do run F1 here.
They do F1 is run at this track in Montreal. But I'm thinking, for him to pass away at the Toronto Molson Indy makes no sense because he never raced in the IndyCar. He was an F1 driver. Yeah. I don't know why I've thought that for so many years. I'm so smart. SMRT. Just having Mark Snyder carry us around here on his car-mounted camera device. Fortunately, Mark will have to put the wheel aside, take care of some stuff after this race is done, so we'll be looking forward to his return.
Currently running in a 25th spot, still on a lead lap, so that's pretty good.
Yep, just hanging out back here, like you say, saving tires. He skipped pitting last time, so. How many pit stops has Mark made? Currently running in 25th.
2.
Okay.
Long list, so they had to give me a minute. Pace car's off. We're going to get ready to go back green. Josh Mercurio still a control car out front. Jonathan Peavy and Vera in third. I tell you, I've been watching Vera every time he gets a good run.
We're right on him. Hiker Vera. Trying to find a way around these two guys.
Peavy's kind of watching him. He's trying to, because that one time that he got a really, really good start. He got right up underneath him there, and Peavy a little bit trying to protect, a little loose on the bottom there. Allows Mercurio to get away, Mercury to get away a little bit. Mercurio, gosh. Look, let me take a drink.
There is a Mercury as well. There's a Mercury and a Mercurio. There is only one Iker Vera, though. So. We're currently on board with him right now. Pretty sweet little camera angle I found.
Yeah.
Always dusting the paint off the driver's side of that car right there.
Very much. He saw a blade of grass out there that he didn't like, and had to go out there and clip it off. They're right here in this corner they're going through right now.
Professional race car driver and landscaper.
Yep. Don't know what that corner is going there under that bridge, but that corner there, it's so easy to overdrive. You want to go a little bit, you know, always want to go a little bit more, try to catch up to that guy in front of you, but it's so easy to overdrive on this track. So we saw Benjamin Snyder do earlier. I mean, it's so easy to do it. And that's the exact same corner as Peavy. Look at this. Gets a good run off the hairpin, pulls up the draft, gets up beside Josh Mercurio. I don't know if he's going to be able to get ahead enough. I don't think Mercurio's going to let him have it. Let me tight. Oh, Mercurio inside the curb. He's outside the curb. A little contact.
Oh, they're fighting each other. That's awesome.
Whoa, I think this lad's going to be led by Jonathan Peavy. That little contact got Mercurio off the corner a little bit sideways. Jonathan Peavy takes over that lap.
Also took over fastest lap. You saw it cycle across the top of your screen there.
And his fastest lap, let's see. Well, yeah, he did. He took over the fastest lap.
Fastest lap of the night. Jonathan Peavy, also your leader.
That's right, too. You can see the green thing on the broadcast.
Instantly,
yeah. I wasn't looking at that. I'm looking at GNL TV and the thing. I'm not looking at the broadcast. So, although Mercurio is coming right back, he's trying to get that position back. Remember, these guys have not pitted yet, so their tires are a bit older than some of the guys that are a little bit further back. I'm going to say all the way back. The top 7 positions has not pitted, as well as like Noah Hart hasn't pitted either. One car in the mix that has pitted a couple of times, that's RJ Bishop. He's the first car out there that are on the freshest of tires, using them so far to getting a few positions.
I like the curbing that goes to the wall, and then there's that cobblestone in between the two. It's a neat little detail. Like, they really did put a lot of cool little details when they built this track.
In the hairpin corner, but I'll tell you, Josh Mercurio really sent that in there. Almost got him. Looks like the caution is not out. What? Nope. Oh, Josh Mercurio just pulled over and let Vera go. I think he's then kind of he's not out there out front out leading, so I think he's thinking more about conservation right now.
Maybe, yeah. He might be lining up to pit and just, you know what, let's not burn these tires off.
As I say that, Vera misses the chicane at Champions Wall, and Mercurio goes right back out in front of him into second position. He's chasing down Jonathan Peavy. And Peavy, off in that second corner, I have yet to see him not spin the tires. So, Josh Mercurio was nice and smooth off there, but if Vera goes out to right up to the wall again.
Anthony McCreary. Josh Mercurio.
Anthony McCreary, I'll tell you, he was the fastest one in practice. Third in qualifying. Dropped back a little bit. Let me look. I don't think he has not made a pit stop yet. Currently running into the fourth position. Filling up Vera's mirrors as much as he can.
On board now with McCreary, the 06. We're going to work on that wheel too. This steering wheel animation is locked in with what the driver is doing. So you'll notice, like Vera, I think it's a little bit more. You can tell he's on a keyboard. But McCreary right now, you can see he's probably using a steering wheel. There's just more variation in the animation.
Yeah. It's just the way, that's the nature of what they're doing. Ooh! He's got himself up there into the third spot. I was looking over at the broadcast when he took over the third spot there. Wow, what a run McCreary gets through that.
Vera might be running a wheel. I'm not sure. Maybe it is a keyboard. Either way, the guy's running fourth place. It doesn't matter what he's doing.
Anthony McCreary sends it into turn 1, a little sideways there. See if he can get off turn 2. Well, does. That might have been the first time Jonathan Peavy has not been sideways off 2.
Loose is fast.
Yep, and out of control. Oh, McCreary took a whole lot of curb and then a whole little bit of a wall there. It launched him so far out he kind of just kissed the wall. But you know what it did? Put him right back in line, got him going.
That's funny too.
McCreary,
You can almost
taking it to drift
control.
school.
You can almost control the damage to make yourself faster.
Yeah. McCreary coming out of the, I think it's turn 6 or 7. He had that thing sideways. Earlier, like I said, I practiced on that. Seemed to be one of the corners that just seemed to be the hardest to get the power down. 2 and that one there was just 2 of the corners that just seemed to me just to be hard. You come out of turn 2 there, you go like a chicane right to left, then you go through a little chicane, little hitch on the straightaway, then it's a left to right, and then when you come off that last little left to right, it just seems to lose a little bit of traction. Jonathan Peavy, though, is just pulling away from him right now, but Anthony McCreary is able to get into the second spot, so he's a man on a mission. Wow, I love the way he's taking that curve, man. Oh, McCreary just sideways into the back of the car, kisses champion's wall there.
Actually, looking at the battle for 7th, R.J. Bishop and Hillier as well.
Bishop is on. He's going to be another one, a man on the move. I mean, he's got fresher tires than everybody in front of him. He's going to try to use them to perfection if he can.
Yeah, and Zach Hillier driving the 48 for LaPlante. So the car gets out on the track. Oh, he's getting on the inside of Pavlon there.
Anthony McCreary, just to get us back up front for a minute, he is running Jonathan Peavy down. Now, catching him and passing him, that could be a different thing. But, just depends on how much Anthony McCreary has saved. He might have a little bit better tires. Got a little bit loose off that corner, that little chicane that I was talking about earlier. Caused him to lose a little bit of time, but love the way he's taking the curves. He's taking them to perfection. He's running them right over and getting a wicked run through them.
Just watched R.J. Bishop go for a little bit of a...
Here comes McCreary on the inside, going into the hairpin. Got the position, but no. Jonathan Peavy just kind of gave him a nudge over as they're trying to pass the 2 Snyder boys.
Yep.
Putting them a lap down. McCreary is all over Jonathan Peavy's rear bumper.
In the draft, you'll see he reaches about 180 miles an hour and slam on the brakes to get through the chicane, because let's put a chicane there. Look at that.
Through the freaking corner, through the chicane, Anthony McCreary bounces off from Jonathan Peavy a little bit. Peavy took that corner a little wrong. McCreary got it just right, took over the lead, and led that lap.
That's what we call leaning on a guy. just a little bit of a strong arm. Pushed him out of the way.
But Peavy didn't make the corner very well. I mean, he took too much of the curve, which kind of offset him a little bit. Had he not done that, I don't know if McCreary would have been able to get by him.
And it is almost like McCreary was just kind of waiting for a mistake, and he was in the perfect spot to take advantage of that. He now has the fastest lap on the night. These guys are just traded back and forth. New race leader, new fastest lap.
It is at, I guess it's 100.876 for time and 98.616 miles an hour by Anthony McCreary. Ooh, watching McCreary come off that last corner, smoking the tires as he shifts into second gear.
Look at that launch, though. He hit it so right. Huge, just put a huge gap there.
I think, like Joseph Landy Pavlon was talking about earlier, that he was, just going to save tires for a little bit. Now we're hitting lap 18 right now. We've had a little bit of a green flag run here. We know, we believe they can do about 18 laps under green flag conditions. Anthony McCreary is making that trip down to pit road. Jonathan Peavy right behind him. Josh Mercurio right behind him. I'm trying to see. Jack Merkel stayed out. He's going to lead this lap. Vera has stayed out. Going to be second this time by.
Interesting. Yeah, because we were running some yellow flags. You think they would be able to conserve, but it all comes down to the math.
You saw Anthony McCreary started third, but dropped back a little bit, and then just at the end of that run was right there, really, really stout. They're just kind of had to chuckle at that when I said that, because they are all pitted 1, 2, 3 on pit road. So Anthony McCurry got out ahead of them, Jonathan Peavy second, and then Josh McCurry will get out there and out of the third car out of those 3 drivers that pitted that time by. I would imagine that we'll probably see Jack Merkel in, maybe Vera. Vera might want to stay out if they has enough fuel to go the distance to possibly see if they can lead a lap.
Do either of these guys, Vera or Merkel, have a pit stop done yet?
Jack Merkel has pitted once. Vera has not pitted at all yet.
Oh, okay.
So depending on when Merkel pitted, he might be able to go for quite a while.
Yeah, because if he took advantage of that last yellow, he won't be even thinking about it right now, but Vera's going to have to.
The thing of it is, for Vera, out there on older tires, you know what I mean? I think you don't want to be out there that long on older tires with, you know, when PV and McCurry. So Vera has headed down pit road this time by. Yep.
All right, Iker Vera is on pit road. Looks like a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit.
That was a smart move. If wanting to go out and try to maybe lead a lap, but you got Jack Merkel in front of you that has made a pit stop. Like we said, we don't know when he made the pit stop, but he had made a pit stop. So if he had done it like maybe at the halfway point through that first run, maybe lap 8, lap 9, lap 10, he can go quite a way still. So the downside to it is he's sailing that car through some of the chicanes there on the exit there, but a little sideways, chasing that thing pretty good. But trying to just, I would imagine, trying to get as much of a lead as he could, so that when he does pit, he can maybe doesn't lose so much time. Currently, right now, the second car is Zach Hiller there, and he has not pitted. He has pitted once, so he's probably pitted early enough to where we saw that happening. We pitted early enough to where we know he can go quite a ways more as well, like Jack Merkel might be able to.
So many different pit schedules, with the yellows. It's like, yeah, guys could have gone in on the first one, the second one, the fourth one. Like we don't really know. We know they went in, we just don't know exactly when. But right now, yeah, Merkel has a 12-second lead last time by the stripe anyway over Hillier.
And you look at the top 10.
Augusto just got out of the way there.
Look at the top 10, and it was none of the drivers that were, leading that. Wow, I should take that wrong. The top 9. And Anthony McCurry was the first one of them off there, is in 9th spot right now, as Zach Hiller comes in onto pit road right now as we speak.
All right, yeah, everybody working on their pit stops.
Pitting for a black flag.
Uh-oh.
A drive-through, or is it a stop and go?
For who?
A Hiller.
Oh, okay.
So what could have happened there? On road courses, if you cut the course somewhere, you receive a black flag. So that's quite possibly that is what happened. He might have cut the course somewhere just enough to where that concurred him a black flag.
Ah. I forgot that it would do that.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't. There's a lot of spots on this track where you can, some of those chicanes where you can make up time, by cutting the course. But by doing that, you're going to get yourself a black flag, which is a stop and go penalty. Right. Stop and go. He took tires while I was doing it, so that
doesn't count.
It does. You still, what happens is you stop, you get tires, and then you sit there and wait and serve your penalty.
Right, okay. So you can get service, but they're just going to hold you for 30 seconds.
Yep.
No matter what. Focus on Alex Rodrigo right now. And he's currently in 7th in that Seahawks car.
Now, I'm curious to see what happened to RJ Bishop. Let me check on his pit status here.
He did currently do a spin around there a few laps back.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah. He was
Went
racing
to
pretty
go
hard
see-
with Hillier for 8th, and they got turned around.
Okay, so he might have pitted too, so he's now up to 3 pit stops. So I was just curious because all of a sudden I'm looking at him
Yellow
in
flag.
the 22nd position. That's a pretty good little green flag run, though. Now, if you're Jack Merkel, what do you do? And can Jack Merkel make it from here on fuel and tires? I don't think so.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, he might.
Or you got Anthony McCurry, you've got Josh Mercurio, and you got Jonathan Peavy that pitted with this caution to possibly go the distance. So do they stay out and inherit the lead? You know what I mean? Or do they come in, take 4 tires and fuel because, because tire wear is probably going to be important? That's a tough one.
Oh, it looks like they pulled the yellow out. Uder Neves. Looks like he got some help, actually, from a little bit of a... We got loose coming out of the corner there. Looks like Mercurio gave him a little bump. Shot him into the tire wall. And then that's where he sits. Stuck under the tire barrier. Sat there for a while before they finally pulled the yellow out. Because I guess he really didn't want to call the tow truck.
Yeah.
He's trying to get it out of there, but...
And you
stuck.
don't. Stuck pretty good. You don't want to call a tow truck, but unfortunately that's the situation you have to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so right there, Uder's sitting on pit road, probably being towed. That's going to take a little while. So where are we here? Jack Merkel, your leader, the 179 of Curry in second, and the 06 of McCurry. And then where's Mercurio? We literally have everybody.
Mm-hmm.
If your name
I'm curious.
sounds like
The
that,
pit road isn't open yet. I've been, just checking stuff out here. You've got up here a little bit. Josh Mercurio currently in the 12th position. Keith Hughes still in the game. Got it. Props to him, buddy. He's still out there running currently in 11th. Cody Lamas is still in there. Paulo Vitor 9th. Christian Martinez, I believe is his name. Christian, I hope I said that right. Whoop, just spun it out there going to the corner. He's lap down. Trying to find, there's Vera, currently running in the 7th spot. Rodrigo's in the 6th spot. PV shown in 4th. Okay, so Anthony McCreary currently in the 3rd position. Second is Jack Curry. Any names? Yes, Yankee is a 1 lap down, I believe, but right directly behind Jack Merkel. Should Jack Merkel pit, Matthias Yankee would probably stay out. He is currently 1 lap down, so actually Matthias Yankee and Augusto should be your 2 lucky dogs. I believe they give 2 lucky dogs.
That's a long drive.
Mm-hmm.
That's like admin controlled cautions. They can throw the green out, but when you've got cars a lap down, you can't really do it.
You got Merkel going in.
There's a lot of guys going in there, yeah.
Kind of waiting to see here. Anthony McCurry's in. I see Josh Mercurio. Jonathan Peavy. So the front runners that were there before are all coming in. So now we know we're going to have 15 laps-ish, per se. We're pretty sure they all can make it on tires and fuel.
Yeah, because we're still going to have a couple more yellow flag laps before we can get that all wrapped up. So they're going to save running at pacing speed.
Anthony McCurry, what a pit stop. What a pit stop that was. I think he came out right behind Jack Merkel. I got to go back and look at that. I don't know if he took 2 tires, what he did, but that was a quick pit stop. That was really, really fast.
Gee, I wonder if you would gamble on 2 here. Or which 2? Would you want to...
Let me get there.
You know, like, if you were going to do 2 tire only stop here, which 2 would you take? Probably
Did a 4-tire stop.
Lefts.
He did a 4-tire stop, excellent stop. Josh Mercurio overshot his pit just a little bit. That's going to hurt him a little.
Ah.
Jack Merkel was the first one off pit road. Anthony McCurry second. Jonathan Peavy third. And then I got to look at this guy up. Jack Curry comes off at fourth. The big loser out of that was Josh Mercurio. Overshot his pit just a little bit. And that extra time is going to put him back. We won't know exactly yet. The timing and scoring is not going to update until we get back around to the start-finish line. But do know Anthony McCurry is going to be second behind Jack Merkel after, I believe, Joseph Landy Pavillon did stay out and led that lap. I believe Pavillon will come back in the next time around, and then he will move himself to the back. But hey, that is 5 bonus points.
That's the thing, yep. Every point counts.
Absolutely. That cars though in front of Jack Merkel now. If those cars they're more than 1 lap down. So I'm looking at GNL TV. We've got Miguel Figueroa, Zach Heiler, Josh Mercurio, Paulo Vitor, Iker Vera, and Allison Rodrigo all have got black flags. So I don't know if that was a pit road thing.
Ooh, imagine that. They all got black
The
flags
longest line or something, but I don't know.
Weird.
The only thing I can think of is maybe they passed somebody going into pit road. You know, because they do have the chicane there. It's quite possible that once they left the track, they sped up to get to the end of the pit road line. But if they beat a car at that line, you know what I mean? They're going to be considered, that you pass a car, not, speeding or anything like that. Currently look over, the only one that has a black flag now is Jack Merkel, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to stick. It might have been a glitch.
Avalon stayed out, Hart stayed out.
Yeah. Pavlon. Oh, somebody's around there. Oh, big brouhaha in the corner there. Zach Hillier. Green is still out.
Jack Merkel made a good start, got on the inside of Hart. Now he's going to be on the outside of Hart going through two. That's going to be a tough one. Anthony McCurry back there about the 5th spot. Jack Merkel gets a great run off there with newer tires. Anthony McCurry tries to do the same. Can't do it. He's got Jack Curry on the inside of him. They touch. Curry a little bit wide there. Gets it straightened out. It's going to lose that position. Jonathan Peavy might be able to get that position from him. Nope. He's still got a good run, but now Jonathan Peavy, in the inside of him. Jack Curry and Anthony Peavy. John gets into the back of him and spins him out. That takes Jack Curry and spins him around there on that, I believe it's turn 5.
Yeah, I don't know the turn numbers. RJ Bishop just hooked it. Oh, there's an accident on the front straightaway. That might bring out yellow. Oh, there's piling into that championship wall.
Watching.
Holy moly.
Joseph Landy Pavillon at that corner, chicane, the exit of it, at that chicane, he didn't get a very good run off that corner. I thought Merkel was going to get him. Not quite, but now Merkel's got a draft on him looking down. Pavlon still has the lead. Jack Merkel pulls to the inside. He's going to get him going into that little chicane before Champions Wall. Anthony McCurry right behind him. Noah Hart still right there doing very well.
No yellow on this one. Check out the instant replay. Neves gets into Torres. No yellow flag on that. I thought for sure that would have brought one out. But not.
While we were watching that, Anthony McCurry got past Joseph Lively Pavlon. He is in the second position. Pavlon moved back to third. Pavlon's, I don't know if Pavlon can go the distance, but he is on older tires. Right now, Noah Hart, same tires I believe that he's on, so there's a bit of a cushion for Pavlon as Jonathan Peavy is looking at them guys in front of him. Not going to want to watch these two guys out front, Jack Merkel and Anthony McCurry, walk away. So you just watch Peavy. He's going to be wanting to make up that time and get up there where he can get ahead of them guys and go out and maybe contend for this victory.
From the cockpit of Noah Hart, we just saw Peavy overtake that position. Number 4.
He ain't going to be there long.
Fast got around him too. And the 07-4.
Prairie is making up time on Jack Merkel. Now, you remember, McCurry's just off the pit road, fresh tires. We don't really know how many laps on Jack Merkel's tires. So, we're not really 100% sure how strong his car is going to be against Anthony McCurry's fresh tires.
And this will be a fun one to watch here.
McCreary makes a mistake off from the last curve there, gets it a little sideways, slaps off from Champion's Wall, and he hit the wall on the outside and the inside. It's kind of slowed him down a little bit there for a moment. He's back up to speed, but is he going to have enough for Jack Merkel now? I mean, that was a hard hit.
Just crashed the game.
Not good. I got to do play-by-play.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens because I lose the whole replay. It's not a big issue. I can always get the replay from you or somebody else, but it's just like,
Drivers,
oh man.
to your cars.
Man.
Look back there for a moment, looking at Joseph Landy. Pavlon still currently in the third position. He has definitely lost all that cushion that he had Hart behind him, so he's got Jonathan Peavy bearing down on him, as well as Drew Fast right behind Jonathan. Oh no! Pavlon goes into that corner underneath that bridge that I always talk about and lost it, so that moves Pavlon into the third spot.
Mercurio Mercurio's in 6th. Hart 5th. Fast 4th. Peavy 3rd. Mercury 2nd. Merkel in 1st. Back live again. Sorry for the delay. It really is a battle for first, and then way behind, not way behind, but like a couple of seconds behind there, PV.
Still got about 10 laps to go. So far right now, Merkel has got a little bit of a gap on Anthony McCurry, but we saw that in the beginning of the race. McCurry was just saving tires for a little bit and then made a pretty good charge at the end. So, oh no, Jonathan P. Wow, what a save. Watch PV go into one, man. He just sailed that in there, got it sideways enough so Drew Fast could see the sponsorship on the side of that car, and then saved it and kept going and kept Drew Fast behind him. That's not going to be good on the tires. They're going to be a little hot right now, so it's going to be a little bit sideways. But there again, didn't matter. Drew Fast back there, he's sliding it through every corner, trying to get that grip off the corner, see if he can't do something with Jonathan Peavy. Anthony McCurry is pulling back up on him now. He dropped back a little bit there, so he's pulling back up on him. They're going through underneath the bridge right now. Getting ready to go past.
Merkel just got into, who's that? The Yankee?
No. Just put Martinez, the 25 Martinez, a lap down or more. I think he kind of looked, see here, he was already currently one lap down, so the leaders just put him down a lap Matthias Yankee is the next victim.
Yeah, Merkel actually was leaning on Yankee. They were coming through the start-finish line area. Matthias trying to get out of the way and felt the stiff arm.
Will definitely happen.
Yeah, we're within 10 to go now, so we got about 9 laps left. Focused on your leader, Jack Merkel here.
See him go under the bridge there. I see smoke up ahead of him. Somebody locked it up a little bit going under into the corner of the bridge.
Yep, coming into the hairpin right now. Yeah,
Curie's made up some
miles
time
an hour.
there. Definitely made up some time there on Jack Merkel, but yeah, he's got fresher tires. But like I said, we still got a little ways to go. He can't be too rough on him. He needs to let, got to keep Jack Merkel looking in that rear view mirror, as well as, just kind of keep going forward a little bit. Try to force a mistake out of Merkel that's going to hurt his tires a little bit more. Of course, we saw, wow, how he gets through that corner before Champions Wall is incredible. That's Anthony McCurry. He really, really sends it. They go by the 2 of Dylan Young, down just past the start-finish line in that little straight shot. Before they get into turn 1, Dylan graciously moves out of the way. Got to look back at PV and see how that Drew Fast and PV battle is going. PV still has it, but boy, Drew's all over that rear bumper. I see you got a Cadillac, but I got back here with the old Chevy. Let's see if we can't make you a little bit nervous.
Yeah. Man, those high curbs are just riding in the cockpit right now of McCurry. Those curves really upset the car, They're trying to pin that throttle, but the wheels aren't really locked onto the ground. Is driving the thing sideways is easy to do.
Gotta watch him through Champions Corner when he gets it right. He's using that curb to perfection.
McCurry?
Anthony McCurry, yeah.
Okay, we'll stay locked on him right now. He's coming through the hairpin.
He just seems to get that right,
And which turn is Champions?
It's the corner they're coming up on right now.
Oh, the one right before
chicane.
the little chicane before the start-finish line. Gotcha.
Get out where you can see what he's doing, though, because he is literally using that curb right up as much as he can.
Yeah, he literally bounces the car from one curb to the other and then barely even loses any speed.
Did a little that time. He's a little bit loose off the exit. Grabbed a little bit too much of that curb the wrong way. Definitely gaining and making keeping Jack Merkel looking in that rearview mirror. And you see Anthony McCurry doing one of the old tricks I used to do. You always keep the mirror full. Turn left, turn right, keep him looking back, When you come off the corner, if you can make him, you move over to the right, they can look that way. And then, draws attention looking backwards instead of looking forward to where he should be hitting his lines.
Yeah, it is funny how, you're not even going to really pass him. You're just wanting to keep him guessing and maybe make some mistake, loses a little bit of concentration.
Do you think that any of these drivers out here can intimidate Jack Merkel?
I don't think so.
I don't either. He's trying.
I think Jack's just laughing at him and going, oh, look at him trying to mess me up.
But under the bridge there, you watch Merkel, he definitely, when he went under the bridge, he's using the curbs just like McCurry is, and it's pretty cool how he does that.
We're going to take another look at it here at the end of lap 31. Going on to 32 here in a second.
You saw McCurry on that one. I just happened to look over the broadcast. See how he's using that curve. He's at half the car, pretty much on the inside of the curve. So. Won a 7:18, which it just kind of says 18 and small 7 there. Just getting going a lap down. Graciously kind of pulls over, but a little too hard. But he got into Champions Wall trying to let the 2 leaders go by. They caught him in a really bad spot. Going in through that chicane, caught him a little off guard, so when he got through the chicane, he kind of just moved over the best he could, try to get out of their way.
Curry does have fastest lap this evening, and he's right there You just can't seem to reel Merkel in enough to set him up. And I wonder if that's like, we're watching him run him down. You wonder if it's the opposite too. Like Merkel knows how to just keep him there.
And he might be playing the trying to keep the certain distance game as they just put Mark Snyder a lap down. Snyder's car looks a little rough for the last race with us for a while. Missing a hood. It's just a little beat up. It's kind of funny because you see Anthony McCurry just kind of make up ground, makes one little mistake and loses that ground back. And he's been about a second or so, with him. Wow! Drives it deep into this hairpin, trying to see if he can get something to happen there. We're coming up to about 5 laps to go. Next question is, can Merkel, does he have fuel enough to go the whole distance? Mm-hmm. I believe he does. Tires, well, we don't know that for sure.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, he has to, right? He would have been pitting by now.
Yeah. Well, depends.
Yeah.
If you are at that as fast as you are and such, and you think you can make it, caution comes out, you might be able to save enough to make the distance. Merkel's really not putting a wheel wrong. A little loose off the corners, older tires, but I think it's more so, Anthony McCurry makes up the time, like I said before, and then just loses it by making, just a slight mistake that everything he gains, it kind of loses it back.
It's keeping that concentration once you get in there to get around them. But then, where's the most comfortable spot to pass them, too? It's got to be the perfect storm. Everybody's got their favorite spots, right? Do you get them into the hairpin? Do you get them into chicanes? Do you get them coming out of turn 3? It doesn't... You just got to be there and take advantage of a mistake, really. There's
absolutely
a little bit of one right there. Got right back up to him.
Looking back at Jonathan Peavy and Drew Fast, Peavy's got a little bit of a distance, ahead of Drew Fast. He kind of broke away from a little bit. Drew's still right there. Peavy makes a mistake, he can probably take away that 3rd spot. But Peavy's got away from him just enough for a little while. Yeah, looking back at McCurry, I just had to jump back up to see how things are going. He's gained a little bit last lap, but I have to see how he does this lap.
Yeah, he gains a little, loses a little. He's just kind of staying right there.
He hit those curves really, really well, but he lost a little bit going up towards championship wall. You get up there too high. Oh, I was going to say I thought he overshot one a little bit. He did kind of, and ended up paying for it at the end of it. He just kind of got in a little too hot, lost a little ground. Gained it real quick, and then lost it back real quick.
Yeah, it's like you can be off a little bit on the one turn, collect it, and then you're way off on the next one, Yeah.
You overshoot one, you set yourself up well for 2, and that's more important corner because it's a long sweeping corner.
Right.
I saw Merkel drop a wheel, but McCurry did the same thing this time.
Yeah, if the driver uses cockpit mode, kicking up some dirt might be a strategy move too. Get that grime on the windshield.
Old spy hunter.
You're not.
Call it the old spy hunter trick. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not stopping to get a tear off now.
Nope. Looking back there, just kind of glancing back a little bit to get in the 5th spot. You get Jack Hiller subbing for holy crap, Austin LaPlante there. Miguel Figueroa there in 6th. Noah Hart, he's in the 7th spot. Now, he was one of the ones that did not take tires back at that last pit stop, the yellow flag. So still,
Vitor might actually be in 7th. I think he just got around him.
Okay. I was just looking at the GNL TV.
Right, it hasn't updated yet. Yeah, because 8 is in front of 7 right now, so Vitor is in front of Hart. So Hart looks like he might be fading.
He is. He's on older tires, fading a little bit, but he's doing all well, or doing well with it. These two. Oh wow, Anthony McCurry took way too much curb that time. Coming off from, I believe that would be 3 or 4. Bounced it off the fence. We've seen him do that before. Doesn't show visual damage, but that it could have a little bit of damage to it.
Yeah, there's some damage on the driver's side, I think. There's some lap coming up.
He hasn't really hit much on the driver's side. It's hitting on the passenger side. It's transferring over to the other side of the car, I believe.
Yeah, because it's all scraped up on the driver's side of things.
Christian Torres gets out of the way, lets the 2 leaders go by. They're going to get him they're going to catch him in kind of a bad spot. Torres is trying to get out of the way. He did the right thing by getting out of the way. But where he was when when they caught up to him, it kind of took the line from them being able to get off the hairpin as well as they'd like to.
There's only so much you can do, right? I mean, he's not going to stop
the right
car.
thing.
Yeah.
Come out of that last corner, and the place to be to get out of the way is on the inside, on the left side of the track. He did that. They got up to him, and he could not go the other way across there. So looks like Keith Hughes lost it going. Oh, McCreary again off Champion's Wall. He hit that thing hard this time.
Yep. That might be it. That might be enough wheel damage to just slow him down enough.
He's been just taking a little bit. I mean, doing what I think is doing the right thing on them curbs, but I think every once in a while it's just catching him a little bit out.
It's like, you know what? You see that happen. He's still right there, though.
Something happened to Jonathan Peavy. Drew Fast has moved his way up into the 3rd spot. Jonathan Peavy has moved back to the 4th spot. So must have been something that happened where it opened up for Drew to be able to make that pass. Benjamin Snyder's graciously moves off to the side of the track to give the guys the room to go by. Does a very good job of it and actually slows down enough to make sure that he's not impeding Anthony McCurry off the corner. I'm not sure the DHC or DL, I don't remember now what the pro sponsor is on that car.
DHL.
At DHL, that's it.
Yeah.
And that is of Neves. Merkel got into him when he comes off that little corner after the chicane there. He was kind of in front of Merkel, and Merkel gave him a little love tap saying, "Hello, I'm here, you gotta go." Keeping down to it. We're coming down here this time. I didn't realize that we were with 2 to go. This time by, we got 1 lap to go. That went by quick.
McCurry is still there. White flag in the air right now.
McCurry's got anything for him. He's got to show it now.
Yeah.
Wow, nice 1 and 2. Nice turn 1, nice turn 2. Get off the corner really, really good. A little bit of loose. Merkel did not get loose off that corner. Oh, takes a lot of curve, but it pays off. I mean, it didn't hurt anyone any.
Oh, wow.
Wow, he's driving that.
He locked him
up.
Yeah.
He is trying his darndest to catch up to Merkel.
He might use this whole car up right now.
Pretty much. Drew Fast is back there, 25 seconds back, when they last crossed the start-finish line. No, look at this. This could be the opportunity that Anthony McCurry needs. They are side by side, almost going down into the hairpin.
Wow, Merkel made a mistake.
Boy, this is going to be good. Who's going to back off? Nobody does.
Nobody. You're going to switch him?
Anthony McCurry on the outside, though. He's trying to go. Gets a little loose. That's going to hurt him.
Wow. Merkel made a mistake, but so did McCurry. Right back where they were.
They got the lap car that's coming upon. I believe that yet RJ Bishop. I don't think he's going to be a problem. I don't think they're going to get to him fast enough to where that could be an issue. Curry has got to make a Hail Mary right here. He's got to get through here faster than he does. No, slams it into Champion's Wall. That's not going to allow him to come for the win. Jack Merkel is going to come through and win this thing tonight. Heck of a run from McCurry, though. You got to give him props. That was a good race for him. unfortunately was unable to take advantage of that situation with Merkel going through. I believe I call it the corner, the chicane after the bridge. Merkel made the mistake, but
Yeah, but the McCurry had him in the hairpin, but then kind of overshot his mark too, so put them right back to square one again. That was an excellent race.
Drew Fast is going to come across now there in third spot, 33.8 seconds behind the two other guys. Jonathan Peavy is going to be fourth, and rounding out your top five, that is going to be Hillard there, that's subbing for Austin LaPlante.
There's the 27 coming out of the hairpin. Mark Snyder used up that whole car, but it's going to make it to the end.
Yep.
No hood. Damage the hood, he said, just who cares? Just rip it off. We don't need it.
Of course, no aerodynamic advantage.
Yeah,
you know.
it doesn't matter. We're going into turn. We're stopping for every turn anyway. Who needs a hood?
That was a pretty good finish, though. Curry, I thought maybe, if he'd have been able to take advantage of that situation in the hairpin, just before the hairpin, he might have had a chance to get it. But, Merkel ran the right line, put him onto the outside, could not get it. He was right there. If he could have got that run off, potentially, would have had a better chance at it. But wheels just wouldn't stick with him, and he was unable to go, get the power down. That allowed Jack Merkel to pull away. Last little Hail Mary through the curves at just before Champions Wall, and car didn't stick with him. He ended up bouncing it off Champions Wall. So
after 4 quick yellows to start this race, everything sort of settled, and we were in for a pretty good show after that.
Absolutely.
There's Hillier giving him a little bit of a bump. Congratulations.
But Jack Merkel, being that he led the second half of the race for the most part, he's going to lead the most laps at 18. Second is going to be Josh Mercurio with 12. We had Joseph Landy Pavlon led 2 laps. Jonathan Peavy led 4. And Anthony McCurry led 1. I believe that's the only laps led tonight out of all the drivers. So.
Wow. We get to watch Jack burn it down, so we were wondering about the pit strategy. Seemed to work because he's got lots left for a little bit of a rubber burning session.
We knew he had fuel enough because he pitted with all them other guys. He actually pitted first and was able to get out in 4 fresh tires. But him and McCurry were on the same tire strategy. It was Pavlon, Hart. They didn't have the same tire strategy. Unfortunately, it didn't really work out for Pavlon. Hart made it all the way, went all the way back to 12th. Pavlon to 14th. That could have been, a better result for them. So. All right, he's done burning it down. Let's see if we can find Drew Fast and get the chance to talk with him about tonight's race. Drew Fast, you have Rod live and Blaine live in the Tarnation TV booth. You have a copy.
I sure do.
Not bad at all. There, you kind of ran around most of the race here around 10th. Dropped back a little bit, different times with pitch strategies. In such, of course, you only pitted twice tonight. You didn't get a chance to lead a lap, but you had a really, really good run there at the end, able to get yourself up there into the 3rd spot.
Yeah, the first half of this race, I was just kind of running around, and I think I did a 360 twice, but it was just kind of trying to keep it going. But then the second half of this race, I thought lost caution. I was just focused on, keeping it straight and steady and just going, and I just was making up spots slow and steady, and then got the last spot to 3rd there at the end.
Yeah, we see you battling with Jonathan Peavy there for a minute. You got a little out of shape a couple of times, then you gain it back. It's a tough course, really, really tough, really good finesse track. What was it that Peavy did that allowed you to sneak past?
Yeah, it was good racing there with him. It was we were basically we were better. Both of us are better on certain parts of the track, but we were pretty even on the lap overall. I made a little mistake that got me about a second behind or 2 seconds behind or something, and then he made a mistake. I think he spun fully or got close to it, and that's how I ended up getting back past him there.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, that's not a bad run. Is road courses like your forte, or do you prefer ovals?
Definitely not in this game. I definitely would not consider myself that great at road courses, so I was just kind of hoping to get like a top 5 or even top 10 here. But so this is a good result for a road course.
Yeah, and you've only been here 3 races, I think it is. You just started.
Second.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's not bad at all.
Indy. Yep.
And you did well there too. So I mean, you can't complain. You're doing really, really good. You're having a lot of fun, I hope. And like I tell you, that a great race tonight.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. This track was definitely a driver's track. There was a lot of tire spin, and you had to be really careful with it. So I enjoyed that. I think even though I'm not necessarily great at road courses in this game, I definitely think I can do pretty good at that kind of track. So I think that's how I ended up the top 3.
So are you planning on coming back for 2027 and running a full season?
We'll have to see. I'm not sure.
Okay, this is the fun part for me. Blaine, do you have any questions for Drew?
Yeah.
He's already caught up. He's already knowing that's coming because I see him turn his mic on.
Yeah, you gotta get you don't want to hear my keyboard. I got the clickety clackety keyboard you ever did see. So, but curious. Oh, first of all, you mentioned definitely not. You said definitely not in this game when it came to the road course thing. Do you play other racing simulators?
I play some other stuff here and there. Nothing like really online or any leagues or anything. This is the only game I really do leagues in. So.
Oh, right on. Perfect. Who paints your cars too? I was curious because that car is awesome.
This car I painted myself. Like back in 2014. This is an original car for the Gen 6. So. Nice.
That's odd. That's cool.
Yeah.
Always
I made some like minor edits to run it in this league, but the car itself is from forever ago. Or maybe it was 2015.
When you got a winner, just keep it, right?
Well, we know that he has to make the minor edits because he doesn't want the 0 in there, so he has to have the 0 in there, but he has to point it on there in front of it and small enough so that you can see it. So,
Maverick rules.
There's a little 0 there.
Yep.
They are pretty particular about that over here at Maverick, but that's all right. Well, congratulations on your 3rd place finish. We're going to give you the opportunity to thank anybody and everybody you would like. The floor is yours.
I always thank everybody who runs these races and puts on the broadcast. So, thank you guys for doing that.
Short, sweet, and done. You gotta love this guy. He's just awesome. So, congratulations on your 3rd place finish, bud.
My new favorite interview. Thanks, Drew.
Thank you, guys.
So now I notice as I'm looking through TeamSpeak, we have no Anthony McCreary. I do note that Benjamin has thrown a couple other drivers in there. Not sure why, but we're going to, I guess, have to go to our winner tonight. That will be Jack Merkel. Jack Merkel, you have Rod Blaine live in the Tarnation TV booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Got him again. I'm trying to remember, where did you start? It was way in the back. And the perfect strategy, we saw you pit a few times early, just before we got the pretty good long green flag runs, and then that worked out well for you.
Sorry to interrupt you, Rod. McCreary just changed his name in the TeamSpeak.
Oh, gosh.
We were looking for him. We couldn't find him. I'm thinking, that might be him.
I don't know if y'all saw, I was upside down at some point in this race.
Really?
Yes,
what?
That was why I pitted early, was because I got flipped over.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, I guess we missed that one.
The 2nd or 3rd caution, I got flipped. I was upside down.
What we could do is, now that we got Anthony McCreary in the right name and we got him in here, we can kind of double interview him and then let them do their thing. Anthony McCreary, you got Rod, Jack, and Blaine live in the Tarnation TV booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Well, I couldn't find you, dude.
My bad. I forgot to change my name.
I was thinking Silmac was probably him, so that makes sense.
I didn't. I wasn't. I looked at it and I'm like, I ain't got a clue. But
yeah, I looked over and I was like, huh, wait.
All right, Jack, if you will be patient and wait just a second, let us get through Anthony McCurry, and then we'll get back to you. But good run. You ran, fastest in practice. I watched that. You're a little off on your qualifying. I'm going to ask you there what happened in qualifying.
I underdrove turn 7, and then I didn't get the angle out, and I lost about a second of time on that. So that's kind of my fault. I was also not driving super fast because I didn't feel like I needed to push. But yeah, I absolutely annihilated turn 7.
So then you start third. You see you drop back a few. I imagine saving tires. And then as soon as that end of that kind of run, granted you had a lot of yellow flags at the beginning, but end of that run you made a little bit of a charge and right out there and got yourself out in the lead.
Yeah, I got spun around in turn 2 at the start, and then I got spun around in turn 3 also on the opening lap, and that set us back to 12th. And then from there, it was just kind of clawing our way back up to the point where we could get back into the contention for the lead. And then, benefit to me, Josh blew second gear. I'm sorry, he blew first gear, which meant that he had absolutely no speed coming out of the hairpin, which, unfortunate for him. I really wanted to battle him. I feel like a 3-way battle between Jack, him, and I would have been really fun. But we got back to the lead, and they were pulling away, and then I'm kind of glad that yellow came out late, because there was no way I was going to make it on the fuel we had, and then some of the drivers that were able to stretch it might have been able to make it on what they had. So it was kind of like, oh, this is a pretty tough situation to be in, but thankfully that yellow came out.
So we watched you, you gain a little, lose a little. You really made friends at Champion and Wall about 5 or 6 times tonight. But coming right down to it, Jack Merkel makes a slight mistake that we don't normally see him make. You try to take advantage of it. He wisely goes to the inside going into the hairpin. If you'd have got the traction off there, it might have been, maybe, we don't know, but it might have been a little different. You couldn't seem to get any grip on the outside of that hairpin when that happened.
No, I was struggling on exit as soon as the tires started getting worn out. Jack was so much faster on exit, and I felt like I was a little better on braking, so that's how I was able to stay within range of him, because he would brake early, I would brake later, and then he would exit quicker than I would, so it was like a Constantina effect. I think the chicane was my strongest corner. I was able to make up about 0.3 of a second per lap. Well, make 0.3 back that I had lost throughout the rest of the lap in the chicane. But yeah, him and I were, that was a fantastic battle. I have taken a break from racing in general for about 2 months just because of like stuff that's happened, but what a race to come back to. Like this, I mean, I'm a little rusty, but this was battling Jack at the end of the race was so fun. I tried to send it. Okay, so to answer your question, could not get out of the final turn. I was like, oh, he made a mistake. Perfect. Let me get it. Didn't get. First off, I locked up heading into the hairpin. Fine. I'll just kind of swing around the outside. Could not get the power down. The car wanted to snap. It snapped into Jack. And I was like, I could keep my foot in it and spin him, or I can just let him go. So I just let him go. And then I was like, I have one shot to make this. I'm either going to make this work, and it's going to be awesome, or I'm going to hit the wall, and I'm still going to get second, because second place was like 30 seconds behind us. So I hit the curb wrong, and it shot the car right instead of left. And I was like, well, that's it. And I just see Jack scurry off into the distance. So, but it was a fantastic race.
But I see you many times make up a lot of ground through with the cut chicane going just before Champions Wall. But I also seen you make a few mistakes there and hit the Champions Wall a little bit too much. That's something. And I did note that you'll see it in the broadcast that you were. I thought sometimes you overdrove the corners a little bit, and to my surprise, you were able to keep it a lot of times in those corners. But yeah, Jack was definitely getting a little bit better run off the corners than you were. So, like I said, can't complain though. Second place, you haven't been here for a little while. We do miss you, being here. So, because I'm glad to see you're back doing it. But Blaine, do you have any questions for Anthony?
Watching you guys run this thing, how hard you run this track, do you practice like the week leading up to this thing, or do you just log in the night of and start cutting laps?
I ran like 3 or 4 laps before practice opened officially, just to kind of like see how it felt initially, and then I went and made dinner, and then I practiced for like, I don't know, I got in at like 7:30 and I practiced till Q. I'm used to road racing, and that's, well, I don't want to get off on a tangent, but I like a car that I can drive and it doesn't feel like I'm limited to what the car wants me to do, where I could feel like I could, like if I wanted to make the car step out, I could make it step out. If I wanted to be hard on the brakes and get the car to rotate, I felt like I could do that. When I put the power down, I felt like I wasn't just letting the car take me out towards the wall. I was able to point the nose where I wanted it and then feather the throttle to make it work. So, and that's the thing that I don't like in some tracks we go to, is that the setup feels a little too tight, and I like how this one felt like I could actually drive the car.
Yeah, you definitely proved that thing looked very drivable. You guys are driving the wheels off those things.
It was fun. Lots of counter steering. I'm a sucker for counter steer, and it was really fun.
Yeah, cockpit view was fun. I was getting in the cockpit with you guys and watching you guys work the wheels. It was pretty awesome.
Thank you. It was fun. It was so much fun.
All right, Anthony, we'll give you the opportunity to thank anybody and everybody you would like to. The floor is yours.
I want to thank you guys for broadcasting. I want to thank Jack for an awesome battle for first place. Good win for him. Great job. Super fun race. If you want any of your sim racing needs, go to brutsy.co.uk. Anything you want. I think they still have Moza wheels. I don't know if they switched over to Fanatec or not, but definitely have Moza. Definitely might have Fanatec now. Gloves, seats, anything you need, go to brutsy.co.uk. And I want to thank everybody at the NSUA Discord that I wasn't in tonight, but I heard that they were having a fun time in there. And yeah, I'm going to try to be back next week, but it's so fun to get back into it.
All right, well, congratulations on your second place finish and good run tonight. And looking forward to seeing you hopefully next Tuesday at Richmond.
I hope so too. It's a home race, so I want to do well.
There you go. Good job. Cool. All right, Jack, now we'll talk to you. Sorry about that. I didn't know who, he was in Condigno in there, but
yeah,
he led the most laps. Like you said, the rough first half of the race there. Come back. Your strategy had the green flags, had to kind of, the cautions in the green had to kind of fall where you wanted them to. They kind of did, really. I mean, you ran quite a ways there, was running away with it when everybody else had to pit, and you didn't. Of course, you come in down pit road, come out first on pit road. Everybody else that was kind of fighting with you, we're just a little bit behind you there. Then McCreary, he had a wicked great pit stop come out behind you, though. But other than that, I mean, your strategy was good. The race was good. I didn't see you drop a wheel too long tonight.
No, the strategy, I wish it would have stayed green. I think if it stayed green, I would have been right on the cusp of making it, and I think everybody else would have had to pit one more time. So if it stayed green, probably would have had it. But like I said, I'm glad I wasn't on pit road when it came out and everything like that. So we got lucky with that and was able to just get to be in the front when it came out and stay in the front, and then just keep it there and stay out of the way of danger and have the good battle with Anthony. Wasn't really much of a strategy call. It was just I still had extra fuel from the pit, from pitting the little bit I had before that, and so I was like, I'll just stay out and run it as far as I can, and I'm not losing that much time to Anthony and them staying out. So I was like, I'll just run it out and see what happens, and just got lucky with that caution call.
But I see how that is, because it ran long enough to the point where you knew you had to pit, but everybody else behind you was like, well, I've got enough laps on these tires. How was tire wear tonight? I mean, was the tire wear was going to put you in there? How many laps of fuel could you do? You know what I mean? What was the balance of the car like in that sense?
Full tank was about 14 laps. That's what we ran to the end. So it was literally exactly a full tank. I had 20 pounds of fuel pressure and no laps of fuel when I crossed the finish line.
Oh, wow.
So we ran the tank dry. Me and Anthony both did the same to get to the end. So tire wear, you would lose the rears if you weren't careful, definitely, especially coming out of turn 1. I had a problem with the car being tight, but that was my fault because I didn't change the steering ratio. I usually on a road course I like 12-1 no matter what. Apparently it's 16-1. But I like running 12-1 no matter what on a road course, and so because I run a little bit higher steering ratio, like the degrees of rotation that everybody does.
Yep.
So I have to have it lowered to get it more control. So I forgot to change it, so the car was getting tight towards the end of the run, which was my fault. But I mean, other than that, I love the way the car drove. I really liked that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like you did pretty good out there. So, like I said, I didn't see you make too many mistakes. You did make that one mistake. I'm not sure what corner it is, but through that chicane, coming to the hairpin there, and you made the smart move out of it. You knew you made a mistake. You jumped to the inside. You got to make him. If he's going to do it, he's going to have to pass you on the outside. And unfortunately for him, he was unable to do so. And he made a wicked try at you there. But he bounced that thing so hard off champion on the wall that he was never going to be able to catch you after that. But I mean, that was a really good race.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely fun. Yeah, I could not figure that corner out for the entire race, and then I messed up, and when that last corner, I had put it in fourth to try and save a little bit of fuel, and I'd have been in third entering that corner all night, and so the shifting and the timing of everything messed me up, and that's why I drove it off as hard as I did.
Can see that happening. Blaine, do you have any questions for Jack?
No, I just have so much fun watching you guys, get around these tracks, and like week in, week out, it just doesn't get old, man. But I mean, yeah, I don't really. We talk to Jack so often. I don't really have much, watching. And again, you're saying you're coming right down to the final lap with like no gas. Is that planned, or is that just a fluke? Like, how do you even know if you can make it?
I had my fuel, my F3 open that shows fuel. I had it open the entire time, and so I knew it was showing splash for most of the lap, and then it would change to half a can coming to the final chicane, and then it would move a little bit farther back. And I was watching it, and it was changing to be one under the lap coming to the chicane. So I knew it would show 0, but I know that when it shows 0, you still have a tiny little bit of fuel left, and I was hoping it was just going to be enough, and it never punted, or never putted, or like suffered having like fuel starvation, so it was good.
And of course, you guys had a great lead on the third place car there, Drew Fast. So that also, either way, yes, it would have. You want to go out there and win, but you just took over the points lead. We're looking at 8 races left in the season, something like that. I think it is 8, and now you're the points leader. You're gonna stick it out, right? Not gonna miss a race like some of these people have.
I still don't know. It was almost close to me missing tonight, but it just comes down to how it's going that day, if I'm going to be there or not. Not exactly trying to, but if I miss one, then I miss one. I think at this point I should probably have enough gap that I think if I miss one, it'll probably put me maybe second behind Josh again. So we'll just have to see.
Or even like I said, missing a race. You said you got rolled over in the first or second caution flag there. Luckily, that didn't damage the car too bad.
Yeah, it somehow I got lucky, and I guess I'd never hit the ground. I don't know, but the roof wasn't damaged, and it didn't have any engine damage. The hood was buckled, but that was it.
Oh, that's cool.
So I got lucky.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on your win. Taking the points lead over. Hopefully that brings you on to another championship. We'll give you an opportunity to thank anybody and everybody you would like to. The floor is yours.
Just thanks to Fortnite Squad for a good car. Thanks to you guys for streaming. And thanks for Ben for putting everything on. And thanks to Anthony for racing me clean all night. Lap cars were mostly good for most of the night. That was fun. Not bad for not running a single lap at speed until the race started. So I'll take that. I tried to do qualifying and made it half a lap and it ended, and then I didn't get on track for happy hour and just started the race. And I was like, whatever.
Figure it out as we go.
Yep.
Figure it out as we go. That's pretty awesome. Well, congratulations, Jack, and we'll look forward to seeing you to next week at Richmond.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks, Jack.
Thanks.
Well, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. That was interesting. I mean, we've seen him do better races on the road courses, and took them a little bit to figure it out. Got about to the halfway point, and they kind of figured it out. And then we went green for quite some time. That was a good race.
Yeah, like, getting the yellows sorted out early was good. And then, we were in for a show the rest of the way through, man. But yeah, fantastic race. And only how many yellows did we end up having? We had 4 quick ones. Total of 5 for the whole race.
Or 6. As soon as they shut down the server, I lost the GNL. I couldn't tell you exactly what it was, but.
Oh, okay. I've got 5 on my export, so.
There you go.
But yeah, that got 4 quick ones and then another one later, and there we go. But as always, thanks to everybody watching and interacting in the YouTube channel, live feed, and all that stuff. And if you're watching it on a replay, thanks again.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yep, everything works. So the fact that we always get another big spike of views the next day because all the drivers who were in the race will log in and watch it again. So thanks for doing that. Of course, the High Voltage Racing League, thanks for having us in here to do the broadcasting. Drivers always put on an awesome show. I try to get through and get around the whole field, so hopefully we covered almost everybody, I think. And yeah, thank you, Mr. Weston.
Absolutely.
And as always, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your stick on the ice. We'll see you next week. I guess if I say that, I usually don't say anything after that. I should probably do that again. We'll see you next week right here at Richmond. We'll also see you tomorrow because we're going to be at, where'd the screen go? We are at TMP for the Culver Block 200 in Indianapolis, a 200-mile race there. And on Thursday, of course, we do the Rolling Thunder Gaming, the Talladega Challenge Series.
For me on the track.
Yep. And then, of course, the ASR Premier Talladega Super Speedway Series on Saturdays as well. So full week for us here at Tarnation TV.
Brian,
so
don't forget with Brian Wolf.
Yep, with Wolf, David Chin, sponsored by Bryant Motorsport Auto Sales.
Yep.
And thanks everybody for the support, man.
Who do we have for a sponsor this week? Do you remember now? Remember they're doing the sponsor.
Yep, Pro Tips 150, 57 laps, sponsored by Brian Russin himself.
Very good, very good. Yeah, I want to put that in there.
Yeah, join us tomorrow at TMP. We haven't been there we have not been there in a little while, and this is a big one. So Indianapolis, 200 miles, which means what? 100 laps?
Yep.
It's a 2-mile track, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time, right around 9 o'clock is when we qualify and go green. So if you're there with us, thanks for coming back. And again, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your stick on the ice.